गाइस, स्वागत है आपका पारिक सर की क्लास में। टुडे वी विल डिस्कस DBMS SQL view and index. In case of a view is like as a table but not a table, which performs the operations like as a table with the restrictions for users. Why it is needed? It is needed for the users. What user can perform the operations for a tables, what user can editing in the tables. So the DBMS provide the concept of a view for a users, in which user may edit, user may update, user may insert the row, which will be directly affect to the particular table. One more thing, the view may be created when particular table is inside the database. After the creation of a view, the view is also stored in the table, stored in the database. So without the table, view cannot be created. A view take the all rows from a table, maybe selected row from the table, and create the structure for a users. So what are the facilities view provide? Structure data in a way that users or classes of users find natural and intuitive. Restricted access to the data in such a way that user can see and modify exactly what they need and no more. Summarize data from various tables which can be used to generate report. In summary, we can say that here, for example, if any bank database administrator want what the information user can view, user can edit, user can update, the bank administrator database perform the view operations and create the view for a particular users. A user may perceive, user can read, user can write, user can update for a particular attributes for a particular value. So this is a very good idea of a database for users. How view can be created? The basic syntax is create view. This is the keyword. View name as is a keyword. Select column 1, column 2. This represents the attributes. From table name, from which table view is created. Table name, more than one table may be used by separated by the comma. Where conditions for selected tuples for a particular columns. You may look at here, this concept, this classes is like as a table class. Here we write here create view for a table. We write here create table. But in case of a view, the table name must be written, because without the table, view cannot be created. This should be remembered. Let us the example of a customer table which is in the database. It contains the 5 attributes and 7 tuples with ID as a primary key, and 7 tuples have a specific information according to the attributes. If administrator want the accessibility by the users for a particular values or columns, so how can administrator create a view for a users? Like this is the example, create view customer view. This is the view name. View name is the customer view as select name and as. This means the 2 attributes from a customer tables may be shown for a user perspective, name and as. After that, the output will be shown like simply as a table commands, select asterisk from customer view. It means the customer view has 2 attributes only, name and as. If the user want to access the output, whatever he want to see, whatever he can perform the operations, the user view for a customer view like this. It means user can perform the operation on the basic table. This is the virtual table like that, name and age, not for a particular table. One more thing, the output and view, output of a table and view, these are a different thing. View is like as a table, it is a virtual table. This is the useful for a user. Now user can done the operations but with the restrictions. What are the conditions, what are the restrictions for the operations of a view? So these are the conditions for a view. User can perform the operations like as a table. Like these are the 10 points it should be remember. Select class may not contain the keyword distinct. Second, select class may not contain summary function, means aggregate function. Select class may not contain set function. Set function means union, intersection, and other operations like as a join. These operations may not be performed in a view. Select class may not contain an order by class. From class may not contain multiple tables. In case of the create view, the multiple table may be used in a from class, but except of the create view class, what are the other operations? These operations cannot contain the multiple view in a from class, because the operations performed to the view, not for a table. Where class may not contain subqueries. In a table we may create the subqueries. It means nested select statements we can perform, but in case of a view it is not possible. 8th point, the query may not contain group by and having class. Calculated columns may not be updated, means if any columns, if any attribute have been updated like as a to perform the constants, the view cannot change it. 10th point is very important for insert query. For insert the row in a view, they may affect to the table also. Like all not null columns from the base table must be included in the view in order for insert query to function. It is very important point. If at the time of creation of the view, it is remembered that if any user want to add the row in a view to affect to the particular table by adding the row as in view, it must be necessary at the time of creation of a view from a tables, all the attributes which are defined like as a not null should be added as a attributes in a view. As a view creation, it is very necessary. Otherwise, if any attribute which have not contained the not null definition, the insertion cannot be performed. If we think is that if all the conditions are accepted for a view, the user may perform the insert, delete and drop commands like as a table. Same thing you can see here in the screen. Insert into view name columns values data like as a insert the row in a table. This is the insertion of a row in a view. The one more thing, if insertion in a view, this will impact to the also a table from which table it has been created. The table also added as a row according to the view name. Second, delete from view name. Where conditions, if a particular row or all row want to delete from a view, this will also impact to the particular table. It means the table also release this row as according to the commands in a view table. It means user can delete and insert the row via view in a particular table in the database. Drop view and view name. Here is the different thing. If a user write drop view. It means view is totally dropped. Structure with structure has been drop out. It is not a mean that table will be drop out. No, table will remain in the database, but view will be dropped. Again, if you want to create again this view name view, so particular command will be used again, create view command. Now let us the example of update view. We can write here update customer view set as 35 where name is Ramesh. It means the customer view contains the two things, name and age. The value of age of Ramesh will be changed like 35, and we can say the output statistic from customer view. This will represent here age is 35. If we create the customer view, if customer view contains all the information from the table, here is the customer view contains all the attributes from a table. Consider, so all the attributes have been represent here, and Ramesh age is 35. Now for index is a one more important part of DBMS, which is used to search a table in the database among the more tables. How much tables, or a particular columns in a table which contains more tables. The index is a very particular, very easy manner to search the table in a database as well as the columns in the database. As to search the pages, to search a particular part in the page in a book, the index in which the indexes are added at the last portion of a book. So index like is the alphabetical order in which the index may be created for a particular table, for a particular column of a table, which is used for a searching only. This will be very good, but sometimes the index should be avoided when table is very small, when the number of the column in a table is very small, so we should have to avoid. But if the number of the tables is much more and number of the attributes in a particular table is much more, so we can create the columns, we can create the index for the columns and tables. So these are the particular index. Like if we want to create the index for a table, the create index is the keyword, index name on, this is the keyword on table name. This is the particular for a index for a table name, table. Same case for columns. If you want to create the index for a columns, the create index name on keyword table name, which table name this is performed, and which columns for a table. The column we may write one column or more than one columns by separating by the comma. If user want to drop the index whenever not need, the drop index name. One more thing, the index may perform the DDL command only. I hope you have understand the both things, view and index. Thank you too much.